Vamos aqui reagir a I Build the Dream Smart Kitchen. Aqui o nosso amigo o homem faz vídeos completamente malucos, produção fora do normal. Portanto, vamos aqui ver como é que ficou a cozinha inteligente do homem.
Into our dream kitchen. We're going to find the absolute greatest appliances, machines and gadgets. We're going to buy them, we're going to fit them, and then we're going to test them to find out if we've made a big mistake.
So quite a few of the big things are already done. We've got the hob, we've got the oven, we've got the tap. So what do we need?
I guess we still need a toaster. So you might have seen I'm semi-obsessed with this Japanese brand called Balmuda.
Yeah, it's literally like the first thing you make anyone experience when they come into the house. But I thought if we're going for the most high-tech kitchen, is there a more high-tech one? And then I found this one.
Revolution Pro. Why didn't you just screen on
Ei, esta merda eu já vi, mano. Isto é incrível, mano. Vocês conseguem escolher o nível de tostado que as merdas ficam. Pá, não vale 400 paus, né? Fosse o caralho uma tostadeira, mano.
I think we need to test the Bermuda against this.
That's a fantastic idea. Winner stays.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious, like, what's TikTok saying about kitchens?
With the Ninja Creamy, you'll never buy ice cream again because it turns just about anything.
Deixa lá ver, mano.
Freeze your ingredients and
Eu gosto mais daquela tecnológica, não me foda.
Let's try it. They also do a slushy machine, which is either a complete waste of space or a dream kitchen gadget. I can't actually tell. We also need a microwave.
Isto é bué da bom, mano. Fazer granizados mesmo de fruta, mano. Muito bom, mano. Pá, acho que nunca se ia utilizar, é a realidade, mas...
Yeah, this one's actually okay, you know. 1000-watt microwave, but then it does 1100 watts powerful steaming.
We need a blender.
Smart blend technology. I mean, they just
Mano, este gajo está-se mesmo a cagar, mano. Eu adoro os vídeos deste gajo, mano.
100 speed touch slider.
Ó Zé Boinas, não, mano, não estás a perceber. Este gajo, mano, é... Mano, está bem de vida, dá para ver, não é? Está a gastar aqui numa merda de um... Não sei como é que se chama isso, de um relador de alimentos, um processador ou um liquidificador, como vocês quiserem chamar, 750 paus, mano.
We try Sonic Ice. So it's made with flaked ice compacted into cylindrical nuggets and is loved for its soft, airy texture that makes it more pleasant to chew. What kind of psychopath chews their
Acredito,
ice?
guerreiro. Mano, eu estou para ver o que é que este gajo vai fazer.
So this is what it looks like, really tiny little pebble ice.
Ah, isso aí tem uma máquina de fazer gelo aqui ao lado, no estúdio.
Nuggets in 4 minutes. Wow.
Não, o meu faz 6 minutos. 6 minutos, aquela é em 4. Mas a minha máquina também faz água fria e água quente. Respeitar, não é?
The mounting bags of trash in the corner reinforced our statement.
So what about the one you have outside your studio right now?
Yeah, it's a really good bin, to be honest. It's got a little sensor, and anytime you wave over it, it opens straight away. And it's really quiet as well.
I wonder if there's something else. This is a pretty cool site.
Yeah, Simple Human's really nice, actually. It's very much the vibe of this house.
This is interesting.
Is that what I think it
Yes.
is? That's like a
Electric.
towel hub, and you take out the middle, and that's a spray bottle.
That's minimalism.
Sensor pump for your soap.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
So you can control how much you get based on where your hand is.
Put your hand up close for a small dab or further away from wall.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a...
Mano, sou só eu que acho que estas merdas, isto é brutal, mano. Isto são mais merdas para variar, não é? Como é que isto detecta que a mão está mais perto, é X, a mão mais longe é Y, mano?
You're going to put your hand here.
Epá, eu acho que era mais... Porquê é que não metes 2 vezes a mão para tirar 2 bufas, não é?
This is a standard dish rack. I really like it. It's clean.
Oh yeah, I've just remembered.
Esconde a cena, mete mais baixo. Não, vais já dizer, olha, se calhar precisávamos disto, isto era brutal, mano. Cena para guardar aqui o rolo de cozinha, ainda dá para ter aí uns bufas de álcool.
And this has to be the one. So now that we've got all the basics, it's time for the weird and wonderful.
É, mano, o gajo tem tudo. Crazy, mano.
So the only other things then are dining table, dining chairs, bar stool. And we had a very productive time at the furniture shop, finding all of them.
Oh, this one looks padded.
This is the moment we realized swivel was an absolute must for us, even for a dining chair.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
O
incredible.
facto de poderes mexer dentro da cadeira, isso é
We
brutal.
did not know we wanted. Like the idea of this rotating dining chair. Anytime someone talks on a
Por
table,
acaso é...
you're looking at them.
Now, in order to have
Isto é boa
a
cena,
swiveling
mano.
dining chair,
Ainda bem que não tinha
we also
pensado
needed to
nisto
make
antes,
sure
mas
that
isto é boa
table legs
cena,
that
mano.
were high enough so the chairs don't get stuck and tucked away enough that your legs aren't banging into them as you move around.
Ooh, I quite like the angular
Vamos
one.
ver quanto dinheiro é que ele vai foder nesta brincadeira.
To go with it.
O homem está aqui a ver quanto dinheiro... Ele está a ver se consegue foder mais um bocado.
For me.
It's made by a company called Reflex, and what I
Isto fica
found
brutal,
absolutely
mano.
fascinating about it is that it looks like marble, but it's actually tempered glass thanks to a printing technique that they've developed. And that has 2 major benefits. They can make it way thinner, and they can add this frosted matte finish, which seemingly makes it pick up 0 fingerprints.
Do you mind if we grab one of those moving chairs? This could be the perfect combination. Are we getting it? Yeah, we're getting full rotation. Look at that.
So that's our table, our base, and all dining
Okay.
chairs locked in. but there is scope to add swivel to one more product.
This is far beyond what I expected from a bar stool. I've used bar stools
Isto
before,
é
but they do
brutal,
not
mano.
have the
Mas são um bocado
cushioning of
cansados,
this,
mano.
the stitching of this,
O que eu
the piping
tenho,
of this.
cansados como quem diz, também foram baratos. Os bancos que eu tenho lá na ilha, não é ilha, é não é Península, assim é que é, porque é colada de um lado, é assim que se chama, acho eu. São da Jom, estavam para aí 40 paus cada um.
Ah,
Isto aqui deve ser para aí 200 paus, mas isto já é uma qualidade, cara.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it.
Now, this was, surprisingly, the most fun room to put together so far, because this is where it really dawned on us that this is going to be our kitchen that we cook every meal in every day, that for the first time we could optimize every single micro aspect of it perfectly for us. Everything down to the theme we wanted to create, the perfect little reading nook, the programming of the lights to create the exact scenes we
Anda
wanted.
sofazinho ali a meio da cozinha, mano.
And so I
Gostei mais foi de sofá a meio da cozinha, que nem foi uma cena que ele comprou, mas é.
to the dream kitchen.
Então não era para rodar ali. Pera. As cadeiras não era para rodar ali na mesa. E o gajo é fedido, deixa lá
Through
ver.
a combination of things that we've already tested very thoroughly and things that we're about to test together now. Starting with this. I've seen people raving about this Ninja slushy machine probably once a week for the last 8 weeks on social media. But then equally, that's never stopped us eventually finding that something is still a stupid idea. So we got one, we set it up, and the idea is that you can put anything in here, so long as it's got some sugar in it. So...
Chill, DJ Gamer, eu só tenho isso no estúdio, caralho, mano.
It's probably my favorite tasting drink ever. So can this preserve that flavor while actually making the texture even better? It'd be so cool if it's also able to keep its fizz. Although...
Ai, não podes fazer isso, mano. Vais perder o gás, caralho, né? Vais perder o gás, mano.
Whoa.
Red Bull não é uma cena clara, vais perder o gás todo, mano. É lógico,
right next to
mano.
that is the Nugget edible ice machine that we bought
Mas já, pronto,
The
dá
way
para
that we
ver.
planned this kitchen
O
out
sabor vai
is
estar lá,
this
né?
is one of
Claro.
LG's signature wine coolers. We got it with the house. But, you know, there's only so much wine 2 people can drink. So it's actually also kind of the perfect place to store everything you'd need for a cocktail or a mocktail. So then that makes this the ideal place to store the 2 gadgets related to drinks.
Já, o sabor vai ficar bom, mano, mas acho que vais perder o gás todo.
Because when we first bought the house and we were
Obrigadão,
deciding what
Terrinha,
gadgets to put
caralho!
for it, we didn't have a
Espero que a live
fridge
tenha
yet,
corrido
but
bem, mano.
then in the
Estamos aqui a
process of
reagir a um
trying to
gajo que
find the best
construiu uma
fridge,
cozinha
we
de
ended up with
sonho.
this, the LG InstaView. The key thing for
Faz
me
o
just being
quê?
that it's very space efficient. You can store stuff right up until the edges. I do find it really funny though that their entire marketing and product name centers around how you can knock to see what's inside this one section. Like, gee, I wish there was a fast way of seeing what's inside a fridge. But my point was that this, like many fridges nowadays, has an ice machine baked in. This is clearly the easier option. It has a filter on the inside and it even disinfects its nozzle each day with ultraviolet light. So is Nugget Ice from this machine here so good that it's
Ah, o
worth
Terrinha,
buying
aí,
and putting
não,
around
como
this extra
palhacito, o homem
pretty
hoje.
bulky machine?
Está com uma piada do caralho.
Water goes in the top here. So apparently, if I just click quick start, it's going to start churning out ice in 4 minutes, which
Okay.
needs to be tested. And so what it's doing right now is freezing.
Vamos
but
ver lá
also
primeiro se faz em
combining
4
that frozen
minutos.
water with air to create a lighter, more textured ice cube. Something's just dropped into here, but we are 5 minutes 30 in, so
Pois, mano, então é tipo a minha, não é? Pois, é 6 minutinhos, mano.
it kind of looks like the thing.
Ah,
is
não,
too
não,
much
não,
food
não,
for
muito
us.
podre, mano.
It's been 19 minutes, and we now have a sizable portion of nugget ice.
That was dreadful.
And their normal fridge ice.
Sim, também pode ser a primeira vez, né?
Okay, aesthetically, I actually don't think that looks any better. Okay, so you add water to normal ice, and then water to the sonic ice. It practically disappears on the inside. It's just not appetizing, is it?
Não, mas eu acho que é de ser a primeira vez, mano. E para fazer caipirinhas é muito melhor aquele mais picadinho.
Now for the big question. Is it more pleasant to ingest?
Alguém que diz shout-out a cena que eu vou dar.
Doesn't stop you getting brain freeze, that's for sure. It just tastes like crushed ice. Not impressed. Does that mean I have to chew this? There is a difference, but there's only a difference if you decide that you're going to eat your ice. At which
Pois
point,
está
if
duas
this
merdas.
is a
Vamos ter que tirar o night
9.5
vote.
out of 10 on the pain scale, then this is still an 8. All right, well, this was actually a fairly easy decision. You get a 3 out of 10. On the bright side, though, this...
Oh, mano, mas isto é uma cena fodida. Eu acho que, pronto, o gajo cagou naquilo, achou que aquilo é grande merda. Ok, já entendi. Mas também não pode ser testado assim só uma vez, né?
transformed. Like,
Uma máquina de fazer gelo.
like Red Bull anymore, which is both very exciting and concerning. This is a pretty big moment. Whoa! Why does everything look like it's taking a dump today? That's actually pretty slick, I have to say.
Okay.
So one thing I can tell, it's only been sitting here for 30 seconds, but the liquid has separated to the bottom. Oh my god, yeah.
Quem é que estava aí a malta? O
It
Pereira?
looks like just really
Estava aí a dizer que
dry
tem
ice
isto.
with all
Não
the
sei se é
liquid at the
Pereira.
bottom,
Não...
But this is actually melt in your mouth.
Estava aí alguém que
Perfectly
tinha uma máquina
shaped
destas.
deliciousness. And whether this is because it was originally a fizzy drink or not, it tastes fizzy. It's that kind of micro ice texture. Fair play. Deserves the
Great.
hype.
Oh,
That is a
great.
9.5 out of 10. Now, onto the other side.
máquina é
I
banger,
don't think
mano.
we quite appreciated when we first got the house how crazy useful it is that it's been pre-fitted with two
Oh, what the
identical
fuck,
self-drying
man. Tá mesmo a
dishwashers
brincar,
right
man.
next to each other. So originally we bought a dish rack to keep up here, but actually having two of these means that we don't even need that because there's always one dishwasher that's ready to load used dishes into and one that makes sure that we've always got clean stuff ready. And then for the few things that are just too big for the dishwashers, you just hand wash them and you put them on this.
Oh,
which we
da
got from
terrinha.
Joseph. And it's such a clean little
Tá cheio
drying
de sorte, mano.
but cabinet 2 is the breakfast area. We decided that it's the most efficient route to get bread from the fridge, put it into your toaster, and then work your way straight to the dining table. But which toaster? I think this is going to be such an interesting battle
o homem comprou
because these are
duas
both basically
tostadeiras,
the most
mano.
expensive toasters you can get, but they both do this toasting in completely opposite ways. So, let's solve this once and for all. Which is the best toaster in the world?
Eu
So,
comprava a da
the
direita,
Balmuda
mano.
is
Acho que é
a way
muito mais
simpler machine.
tecnológico, é
You
muito
put
mais
your bread in, you turn it on, you set a timer, and you let it cook. With the one twist being that you can also fill it up with water, which coats the bread in a fine mist, and then because water heats up faster than air, it makes the outside crispy and the inside fluffy. The Revolution Pro is, well, it's definitely the more customizable toaster.
A
there's
da
like
direita é
20,
fodida,
30
mano.
different
Só
types
esta
of bread.
experiência,
You
né,
pick
mano?
which ones show up and what order they're in. You pick whether you're starting from fresh or frozen, and then even what toastiness level you like. Oh my god, the image
Mano,
actually
what the
changes
fuck?
depending on
Mano,
what you
olha para esta
select, so you
merda,
can
mano.
preview what your toast is going to look like.
J-Gamer, oferece-me lá esta merda, bro.
With this
Vou fazer
accessory,
anos,
and
bro.
it even becomes a warming rack using this one.
E tem a cena para fazer sandes mistas, mano.
Free. Here we go. 3, 2,
Yeah.
1,
Nunca
go.
vi as funções todas. Não sou esse geek a esse nível.
That is so slick. Now, I gotta say, between the two, the Balmuda looks prettier. And also, we've only used this Revolution like twice, and the entire finish is covered in fingerprints. It's just really hard to keep clean. But then counterpoint, it does also have a removable crumb tray and is even smart enough to
Mas
tell
não
you
entrou
when it's
toda
full
a
so you
cena
know
da
when to
tosta,
remove it.
mano.
Whereas
Claro
the
que ela vai
Balmuda
ficar
is
meio
probably
podre.
going to be a little higher maintenance. Wait, what? It's saying in 5 seconds to go. Are you kidding me? Wow. That said, while I am a great appreciator of speed, that doesn't look anything alike. Like, if you're going to go as far as to program what every stage of bread should look like, shouldn't you first prioritizing making sure you can actually make the bread look like that?
Eu acho que ele não meteu a cena toda lá.
So that took nearly 3 times as long. But tell me that is not a more professional looking piece of toast. I'm not exaggerating when I say I think the Balmuda's toast looks vastly more appetizing. Let's butter them up. It's the best part of my day.
Está bocadinho crunchy.
This is a pretty average slice of toast. It's got a little bit of crisp on the outside, but it's also quite doughy. Inoffensive, but forgettable. Gotta make sure I eat an equal amount of this toast, you know, just to keep it fair.
Essa está mais fodida. Já o barulho já denunciou, mano.
Every time I compare the Balmuda to something else, I have the exact same reaction. It's just better. Every time I take a slice of toast out of that Balmuda, my first impression is, damn, that's really hard. But it's designed that way so that when you add a little bit of butter, it softens it to the point where it is perfect. Whereas that butter normally makes every other piece of toast a little too soft. Okay, so there's 2 slices of toast in front of you. Can you taste them one by one and tell me which one you think is better?
They're very different colors.
Já, mas está tostadinho. Faz barulhinho na mesma.
Oh, I don't know. Oh.
You're getting through a lot of bread to make this decision.
This is a better done toast. This kind of feels like bread with butter.
Ooh, scathing.
Well,
Já vamos a comer as duas.
Off we go. Your toast, mate. Cabinet 3 is the lunch/dinner area, hence the microwave, which has actually been really good for us, but it's a microwave. We don't need to dwell on that. Gotta say though, one of the coolest things about this kitchen is that it not just has these hidden cabinets that you can make disappear when you
Esta é
close
grande
the
cena
doors,
que ele
but
pode
also
deixar as
every
portas
single one of
abertas.
these cabinets has 4 main sockets, so that we can
Fiquei com inveja disso, mano. Já viram esta cena que ele... Inveja saudável, né? Mas vocês já viram que ele consegue deixar esta merda assim aberta ou puxar as portas que entram para dentro ali de ladeira. Mano, isto é luxo, mano. Esta merda deve ser cara como o caralho fazer as cenas todas neste tipo de portas, mano.
microwave. We don't need to dwell on that. Gotta say though, one of the coolest things about this kitchen is that it not just
Caralho,
has these hidden
Becas.
cabinets that you can make disappear when you close the doors, but also that every single one of these cabinets has 4 main sockets, so that we can keep every single appliance that we want to use permanently plugged in, ready to go, without
Pois
cluttering
fica,
the
mano,
main
mas
island,
também é
which,
fixe
as
dar
you
para
can
estar
see,
aberto.
brings me great joy. Oh yeah, in terms of these smaller bits in this kitchen, by the way, so we bought our dining equipment from a company called Fable, and it's been amazing. Nothing has any seams for things to get stuck in. Everything cleans in one swipe. It's completely scratch-proof, and it's fine in the dishwasher. We also got our glasses from the same Fable company because, you know me, you know I cannot resist bezel-less things, and these are probably the thinnest glasses I've ever used while being a lot stronger than they look. It's also just a really efficient form factor because you're not carrying any extra weight and your liquid literally starts from the very bottom. Cookware-wise, we settled on
Fosse o
caraway
gajo até ao
in the end.
nível, mano.
These
Olha para
things
esta
are like
merda, mano. Eu quero tudo, caralho. Adiciona-me tudo à puta do carrinho e manda vir. Não, às vezes eu preço e diz: é pá, se calhar estes copos são bem fixe, bem mesmo o líquido mesmo de baixo e o caralho, mas pá, 15 paus cada copo, né? Se calhar.
to another level. They look
Já nem é,
beautiful,
não é?
and
Mas
you can also tell that this is a company who thinks about the little things. Like, for example, how they ship them with the magnetic holders that you'd need to store them. This thing has been an absolute game changer. It's a strainer that keeps your pasta or
olha,
rice
isto é bué da
completely
fixe, mano. O
upright
gajo
so
queima-se
that
para
you can
caralho a
just
tentar virar
pour
esta
away the
merda.
water and then let it sit without leaking. And then these
grande
are the
ideia, mano.
non-kitchen
Mano, este gajo é
salt and
maluco.
pepper cannons, which
Digo isto em todos os vídeos que vemos merdas dele, mas é verdade, mano.
launch your pepper across the room, but the level of control you get here is insane. Most normal mills can grind between 12 to 28 mesh size. This can do 8 to 60. Okay, so that's drinks, that's breakfast, that's
Mano, o
lunch and
homem
dinner all
tem
done.
um caralho de um medidor de pimenta. Entendem? Um gajo normalmente fica contente de ter uma merda que rela a pimenta, que é o que eu tenho, uma cena tipo de madeira que dá para. Mano, é fixe. O gajo não, tem a cena dos dois lados, que este aqui dá para deitar bufas maiores e do outro lado bufas mais finas. Mano,
It's
genial.
time for my favorite
Genial.
automation, candlelight mode. So let's do it. It makes the blinds come down, it turns off all the room lights except the one right over the dining table, and it makes all of the Philips hues that we've hidden around the room go to this lovely
Mas devia ter
warm
aquele
orange
difusorzinho
colour.
ali de baixo, aí está
So
com o DJ
cool.
Gamer.
And
Devia
that
ter,
feels
para
like
não
a
se notar
pretty
aqueles
good lead-in
pontos.
to dessert. So this is the Ninja Creamy. It is their ice cream.
Yeah, oh,
And
let's
they
go,
even did this
let's
one
go,
isn't as viral as
Afonso.
the slushy machine.
Let's
My
go, cara. Está
prediction
tudo bem da clean e depois nota os pontinhos, é verdade.
is that this is going to be the underdog. So here's my problem. Every night, like the moment I finish eating dinner, my body switches modes and suddenly just starts craving dessert. And so the thing that I'm most curious about is if I put into this just the standard ingredients that I use to make a fairly healthy chocolate protein shake, so this is just chocolate protein powder and milk, can this turn that into an actually tasty ice cream? So you start by ejecting the canister, and then you place in your pre-frozen
isto é da mesma-
ingredients. So
isto é da
in a sense,
mesma
there is
marca,
a little
né?
bit of prep because you have to do this the night before. This is actually just the world's most expensive ASMR machine. I feel like I want some crunch in here. Oh, oats. Okay, that's a pretty healthy serving of that. So you get 3 options over here, and then ice cream. Oh my god, it's going to take 2 minutes. Is that it?
Não sei o que é esta merda, mano.
Now, as you can probably tell, this is not the cleanest video we've ever filmed. But the reason that my face looks this unbothered is because of what we have here. So we specifically asked Roborock if
é
they
um
were willing to
robô,
sponsor
né?
this video because their Q Revo Slim is the smartest robot cleaner I have ever used. Like, the navigation on this thing is bordering on self-driving car level. It's absolutely surrounded in 3D sensors that are all upgraded and all work together to form what they call the Starsight Autonomous System. And that means that this robot deeply understands your room. For example, with any other robot vacuum cleaner, before letting them go, you have to first pick up any obstacles, you know, a clump of cables or some shoes you left around. This robot is so aware that it will not just avoid those obstacles. Wow. But it will identify them. It can recognize 73 different floor objects, and it will mark them on the virtual map
Foda-se,
that it
mano.
builds of your
Ah,
room.
isso
So
aí
you know what
é
avoided,
incrível,
and
mano.
it knows that
Ele
those
vê e
objects
diz
are
iogurte,
temporary.
bro.
So they
Crazy,
won't
mano. E
affect
limpa a
understanding
volta,
of
porque há uns que
room,
depois
unlike
fritam
something
todos.
more permanent
Vais a ver
like
que custa
a dining
1500
table.
paus o
It
robô.
gets
Pô,
better, though,
é
because
fixe,
it's
né?
incredibly thin, and the mop and the side brush are extendable now. So it can fit under pretty much anything, and it can also clean right up until the very corners. So long story short, we have set up one of these on every floor of the house. They send themselves out to clean while we're asleep. They head back to the dock on their own when they're done cleaning. They empty their own dustbin. They power wash their own mop. We don't really do anything anymore. So link below to check it out. And now, final few finishing touches
Mano, bem
that take
precisas,
this
mano.
from
Por
a
acaso é
great
que o gajo
kitchen into a
tem.
dream kitchen. So the first is Simple Human. So I've used a couple of products
Precisa de
from the
robôs
Simple
em todo
Human
lado e é
company in the
pouco.
past, but it's actually getting more of them, setting them up properly in our own space that has given me a whole new appreciation for this company. So here's how I would describe these products. They're not cheap. They strongly incentivize you to lock yourself into the Simple Human ecosystem. But wow, do they make your life easier if you're willing to put up with that? So for example, this Simple Human bin, from the very first interaction, it's thoughtless. You just walk up to it and a sensor in front of it will make it open. There's a pod up here. Perfect example of something they want you to keep buying from them, but something that's also very effective at making your trash just smell like 90% fresh citrus, basically. Oh, and by the way, for the remaining 10%, we got the Briv 2 Pro air filter, which
Foda-se,
is
mano, isso é fixe ter a
pound
cena
for pound.
dali de um ambientador dentro do lixo, mano. Isso é uma visão que eu nunca ia lá, mas os gajos sabem vender caixotes de lixo a 300 paus, parece fácil, né?
Not the best air filter.
calhar é
you can
mais,
get,
mas
and the
não
app is
sei.
pretty unreliable, but then when you factor in how much it suits the aesthetic of the room and how it also acts as the scent diffuser using essential oils, I think it's worth it. So then, let's say your trash is full. They've made every part of the process easy. You pull out these pretty rip-proof bags, you pull the tags to fasten those bags, and then to put a new bag in, you don't need to go rummage around under your sink. You just reach inside, you grab said new bag. And these Simple Human bags even let you know when you're running low with a QR code that lets you order new ones to arrive just in time before they actually run out. From, you guessed it, simplehuman.com. That's what I mean about the ecosystem.
Caralho, mano, foda-se. Estás a ficar sem sacos de lixo? Pega lá. É daqui, é só o telemóvel-teca. Caralho, bro. Visão.
No. I'd actually go as far as to say that their paper towel holder, though,
2
is even better.
cliques.
So,
Hey,
the
câmera
paper towel
aberta,
goes on the
tec.
outside, feet, Regina
Order.
blades. If you know, you know. It's held in
Towels.
place by this arm, so it doesn't actually matter how much you've got left. And then this bottle that sits on the inside, it works even better than I expected it to. What an insanely intelligent solution to bundle together two products that often need to go together anyway. But then equally, they will try and
419
sell you
paus,
on their
deixa de
surface
lixo.
cleaning products too, which
Pega
will
nisso, mano, eu tô
want to
fixe com o
inform the
meu, bro.
solution that goes in here. But
É
you
pai dos
can just
chineses, é bué da grande o meu caixote
but
de lixo.
my
Não é
number one
bonito,
favorite
mas...
product from these guys has actually ended up being the sensor pumps. I was initially worried about buying another gadget that needs to be charged and also filled up with soap every now and again. But
Caixote humilde, mano.
we've had like 2 months of heavy usage and we...
Caixote de lixo com um pedal
And it
deles custa
saves so
290.
much
Não,
hassle
aí é
while
bom.
cleaning to
Aí vão
just
para o
be able
caralho,
to
mano.
wash your dishes with this and wash your hands like this. And then of course, take off the lid and this is how you order your refills. So on brand. Right, it looks like my protein shake has been creamed.
What did he say?
Now, we did have to run this a few times because I think at the beginning the mixture was so rock solid that the blades inside of this couldn't actually cut through. Wow! Look at this. That scoops up so nicely. There's a little bit of roughness to it. I'm hoping that's my oats as opposed to it being icy. Oh yeah. This
Mano,
is
o homem
actually a game
curtiu,
changer.
bro.
I could actually see myself every night going forward, pre-making myself one of these and having a post-dinner but actually guilt-free treat. It's also not crazy messy. Like all we have to clean afterwards is 1, 2. This video was actually just an excuse to eat. You know, when I first saw this creamy machine and the slushy machine online, the very first thing that popped into my mind was, surely that's pointless. Because you see so many gadgets like this, like that Bartesian that I reviewed a while back, where all the work is actually being done by the capsules or the preparation you have to do beforehand, and the machine is just a glorified mixer. But that's not the case with either of these. The end product would be
Eu acredito que
almost
essas máquinas que ele
impossible
está a
to achieve
experimentar
otherwise.
sejam muito bons. Mas, epá,
Oh,
é?
I think this is a 10. And then the final thing is just, we got really lucky with this kitchen.
Causa
It's
deste
designed
gajo
for
é maluco.
10 people to be able to prep food at the same time without bumping into each other. It's got one surface that we have to keep clean. There's no walls that you can backsplash onto. There's no handles on anything that you can get caught in your clothing. And so knowing that we had such a good base, the biggest thing on our mind was just, how do we build the
Causa
things we
deste
want
gajo,
into this without interfering with
Gente,
it? Like, we
temos aí
wanted
mais um ou
plants,
dois
so
vídeos
we
para ver da
goes
casa
quite
dele,
far
mano.
back. We wanted
Mano, vamos ver
smart
seguidos.
Philips
Vamos
hue
ver outras
lighting,
cenas
and
aí na
so
meio.
we found ways of weaving that
Ya,
into
mano,
this
mete lá o
main
difusor nessa merda, mano. Agora até a mim já me está a chatear, bro. Percebes? Está-me a chatear porque está tudo incrível e depois esta merda aqui não está fixe, mano. Não pode ser, mano. Está fixe, está... a vibe está lá, mas, mano, não podes deixar isto assim, mano. Não podes, mano.
We got the Samsung Frame TV
Não
as well
podes,
here
mano.
to add to the earthy,
What?
green, fresh.
Eu sei
theme
que é
that we've been
esta merda, mano. Isto é incrível, bro. Foda-se, bro. Olha-me o caralho da TV que o homem tem aí, mano. Jesus. Eu nunca ia dizer que isso era uma TV, mas sei qual é que é. Sei qual é que eu já vi isto, mano. Samsung Frame é pesado, parece mesmo um quadro. Mano, muito bom, mano. Ainda por cima ele tem aqui uma merda tipo com desenho, mano, que é para... Deve ser wallpaper, não é, da TV. Mano. A ver, estava a odiar o gajo por causa dos LEDs, já estou a adorar outra vez por causa desta cena da Samsung. Caralho. E a Samsung nunca me enviou nada, mano. O gajo da Bus ainda tem frigorífico da Samsung e arca vertical da Samsung. Estás a ver? Não, os LEDs não são nojentos, caralho. Só têm de meter a cena para se esconder a jarda. Anda videozinho, sim senhor, mano.